All right, what's going on, everyone? This is Donnie,
Jamie O,
and we are going to react to Candace Owens' response to Eminem. And apparently, she goes pretty hard. She doesn't hold back. So
I've seen this woman speak a time or two. She definitely knows how to speak, but I don't know.
Like, yeah, I usually agree with a lot of things she says. Sometimes
she's a politician, though. Is that what she is? Or she's a who is she?
I think she's like a political journalist or something. I don't know. But yeah, here we go.
Because there's a lot happening here. First thing I want to say is Eminem is obviously a gay man.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
First off, I want to say Eminem is obviously
the gayest man in the world.
It's very sad that Eminem cleaned out his closet but never came out of it.
Get the fuck. Yo, she's got bars so far.
Yeah, if she could rhyme this.
Yeah. She said he cleaned out his closet but never came out of it.
His closet, but let's get to these lyrics. I'll read them to you. He writes or says or raps, and Candace O, I ain't mad at her. I ain't gonna throw the fact BITCH forgot she was black at her. Oh, laugh at her like them crackers she's backing after her back is turned in a cute MAGA hat with her brand new White Lives Matter shirt. Haha, nope. Or say this MAGA dirtbag in a skirt just opened the biggest can of worms on the whole planet Earth. Call her Grand Wizard, yeah, Candace, haha, or Grand Dragon, or like the national anthem, I won't stand for the tramp. Why? But I can diss her, because my plans are to get in her pants, and I'll blow my chance if I answer back to her. Oh, but I can't diss her, because his plans are to get in my pants. Ew, you disgust me. Okay, a lot going on here. I think first and foremost, I just would like to again remind people that he is in.
I just like how she had a hard time reading that because he's so good at writing lyrics and songs that you can't read his bars like they're written normally. It's not easy to do. She struggled to get through that. Really I bet she's educated.
In fact, a struggling internally gay man, and so there's a lot happening with Eminem.
She just won't get off.
She wants him to be gay so bad.
And we should pray for him.
Pray for Eminem, everybody.
The second point, the way that we know that is because he's actually recycling things that black women have said about me on the internet. Like, he's pretending this is original, calling me Candace. It's not. This is like he's just recycling.
He said a lot more than that.
Don't like me on the internet have a lot of names for me. One of them being Candy O. So he's like watched what they're saying, and I guess someone who was listening to him in the booth was like, yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, drop the beat. They're really going to like that.
She's a dork.
By the way, there's a second song he also dropped. This one's called Bad One. And the lyrics are this about me. Yeah, this whole subgenre with all these corny white rappers, I'm not a fan of it. It ain't my fault, but like sock puppets, I had a hand in it. This $1,000 in my hand is just like what Candace did when she turned her back on her own race, because I have abandoned it. Oh my, so cool. That's a tough one. That's so tough. The black community is gonna
super cringe.
Anytime you act like that too, when you're trying to like defend yourself, or
she's deeply she's embarrassed.
She's hurt.
Yeah,
she's just
like, oh, you're trying to act like you're not, but you are.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
let's try candy.
I did that in middle school. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, like when somebody actually burns you.
Yeah, that's your defense.
That is the classic. Oh, I did get burned, but I'm gonna act like, oh, I don't care.
You're stupid. No, you're burned.
Gonna be going crazy. Not.
They're still going with it.
I don't think that's gonna happen at all. Actually, I'm doing this because I want to help him go viral, because this is sad. This is very.
Yeah, pretty sure he's #1 and already viral.
Did you just say you're trying to help him go viral?
I just saw something where there's either Houdini. Yeah, I think it was Houdini was like 47 million views, and Kendrick Not Like Us was like 40 million. So like,
come on now, don't try.
Thanks, Candace, for helping him. So
I hate that narrative. I'm just trying to help get him some exposure. No, he exposed you. Come on now.
Very sad. I want you to feel sad for Eminem. This is just not the way for someone's career to go down the drain, and I want us all to do our part to help make Eminem.
This is the best album in a long time.
His career is gonna go. She's talking like it's already headed down the drain. That's what I don't like. She's talking like he's circling the fucking toilet bowl. Are you kidding me? Pretty sure he was like the most streamed artist of 2022 or something like that. Like he's
across all like Spotify, Apple, and iTunes. He's number one. Even and then Taylor Swift's number 2.
They don't play shit in the hood, I guess. So other than that, they play it every fuck to where else.
Eminem relevant again at the very least, and he can be relevant just by me speaking about him. He understands that. By the way, I did TMZ.
Oh yeah.
Put it this way: more people are gonna know about you now than people that will learn about Eminem. Like I didn't really know
she's popular.
I know the name, I know the face.
Not Eminem.
Shit about
not Eminem popular.
Fuck no.
Earlier, they were asking me like, you know, in part though, aren't you honored that someone who
you
is
are
the greatest white rapper of all time is dedicating all of this time to you? And I said no, because it would have meant something if he was at his prime. As an example, Dave Chappelle, he made a really, honestly, it was kind of a hideous joke about me. I didn't think the joke itself was funny, but I did appreciate the fact that Dave Chappelle, who is the most famous comedian in the entire world at the peak of his career, was mentioning me on stage. Like when he was very sad about George Floyd and he did this whole skit and he said some awful things about me, I did have that moment where I went, wow, Dave Chappelle knows who I am. This is not that with Eminem. He's not at the peak of his career. He's at the...
Probably, yeah. It has to be.
It's the same thing. It's the same. Man, I understand what she's saying, where he's not the number one rapper as far as like popularity with mainstream
with
shit.
This generation, like right now.
But like, come on now.
Still number one. Like
he's still selling more records than mostly everybody.
The end of it. His career should have ended like 15 years ago, and he keeps going. And so this is not a rapper that's at the top. He's actually doing he's going through a strategy that a lot of new rappers do, where they find out who is the big rapper and they start a beef. Right? He's like, oh, nobody knows who I am, so I'm just going to start a beef with Candace Owens, and he's just.
She hasn't done her research. She
thinks she's that big.
She hasn't done her research.
You're popular, but
but she's trying to say like newer rappers will find a big name in rap to beef with, but big bad Eminem came after me.
She's the big rapper.
You are so lucky to have been mentioned. Your views and streams and everything in your life will go up because of him. He's done it for everybody that's ever been his spiderweb chart is crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Eating out of the American mindset entirely. So this is what he's come up with. And I want to say this. Genuinely, the pander here is pathetic. He's literally making a plea to the public. I hate white people. That's what I'm saying. He's calling white people crackers. He's using a slur against his own people.
That's it. I'm not an Eminem fan anymore. He called us crackers.
Would it have been better if he called us crackers?
Call us crackers.
I'm thinking he meant to call.
I didn't know this. I'm done.
So he's gay. He's racist. He's a gay racist white man, but he's racist against white people.
I'm done with Eminem.
Well, at the same time, unironically, accusing me of doing what he's doing. He's like, she turned her back on her own race, as he turns his back on his race and calls them crackers. I've never used slurs to describe Black Americans, because I don't have an issue with my race, but you very much have an issue with yours. And the other thing is, like, he doesn't even know what his audience is. Again, this feels very maybe could have done something in 2016 when the whole world was, so anti-Trump and it was the George Floyd moment. He doesn't even understand what's happening. I mean, that conversation has broken in the Black community. That's why Trump's numbers are up. Beyond that, I've been on the Breakfast Club. I've done Joe Budden. Like, Black Americans are following this podcast.
That is kind of true.
Yeah, but
she got a point there.
But fuck Joe Budden and the Breakfast Club.
Is that what she's talking about? Joe Budden's podcast?
Well, no, the Breakfast Club is a separate podcast with Charlamagne the God, who always just runs his fucking.
Oh yeah, that's him. Oh dude, Charlamagne the God.
I like the other people on.
Charlamagne has always been an Eminem hater for I don't know what reason.
Always, and he's put him in songs. Game Donkey the other day.
Like me.
Yeah.
I went viral on a few of those channels, on Instagram channels the other day because of my conversation with Don Lemon. They're starting to hear what I have been saying, because back in 2016 when I was saying Black Lives Matter was a fraudulent organization.
That dude Don Lemon sucks. I've only seen a couple of things with him.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
People were not ready to listen to that. But then what happened was they proved that they were a fraudulent organization, and people said, I think Candace may have been trying to tell us that, and she was right, and maybe I need to listen to her rather than listen to what other people are telling me about her. And one of those people that they're not going to listen to is you, Eminem, because you're just so irrelevant. Your music isn't good anymore. And like I
I haven't heard like I've been hearing a lot of praise from this new album, especially like
her credibility is dropping more and more with everything she says. I mean, is he in his prime? No.
It's kind of hard to stay in your prime when you're in the game for 20
in their prime for 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're Tom Brady, fuck out of here. Fuck Tom Brady too.
He said, you're the one that's actually cosplaying a race that you aren't. You're desperate for Black Americans to pick up your tracks because you abandoned the audience of a lot of people who were listening.
If he's cosplaying against his own race, you're then essentially, from what I know with the Trump support, that's kind of what people view her as. Like, that's the whole point of the people that dislike her. They view her as that same thing. So she's, from the beginning, she's taking what he said about her and she's trying to spin it around on M because he called us crackers.
I'm hurt.
Gee willikers.
I'm a trailer park kid, and then what did you do? You dunked on kids from the trailer park. You dunked on actually an entire middle class of white people who loved your music. You dunked on people in the country. For what reason? For what reason other than you misread the room? And the way and the reason that you
she's saying when he went against Trump.
When he said, fuck, if you support Trump, like, or fuck you or something.
Yeah. And guess what? I didn't take that serious at all. I mean,
I know people that were super big Eminem fans and Trump fans, and that didn't they still listen to Eminem.
Eminem he's an out of touch elitist. He is. This is what happens. He is now a lefty elitist. He belongs on a campaign trail with Hillary Clinton when she runs for the third or fourth time. That's what he should be doing, because he's pretending to know anything about what's going on. The reality is that a lot of those people in the country that he doesn't like, take it from me, I moved to Tennessee, have a lot more in common with the people that he's trying to appeal to. I think he thinks he's appealing to, like, what, the hood? They have a lot more in common because these are regular people who are suffering in different but similar ways, who recognize that the economy is not good, and an Eminem track is not going to make it better. Here's the last thing I want to say about Eminem. He is a lesson to a lot of people out there that you need to know when it's time for you to retire. You don't want to retire on this note, right? Eminem is 51 years old. He has not modified his brand at all. He's not grown up. Most people know that.
That's false, actually, because he actually tried really hard to modify his brand with,
that's what this whole album's about too.
Well, if you look at Recovery and Revival, he definitely tried to change it up.
He has,
and now he's changing it up again.
He has evolved throughout the last, almost 30 years. I don't agree with that idea at all.
I don't think she understands the Slim Shady alter ego. I think she's confusing them as one.
Yeah, she shouldn't speak on things she don't understand.
You do have to evolve your brand, right? You can even see this as just one example. Miley Cyrus, like in 2016 or maybe a little bit before, she was like shaking her butt. We can't stop twerking, and now she's cleaning it up and she's singing music that's still catchy, but it's not so crass. And she's actually giving interviews saying that, this is who I was because I wanted to break out of the Disney shell, and this is who I am, and this is where I'm going. And I don't think she gets it right all the time, but I can at least recognize that she's evolving. Eminem's not evolving. He still thinks that he's a 13-year-old boy who is rapping in his room, and that somehow people are going to find that appealing. In reality, he's 51 years old. His daughter, or maybe he's older than 51, his daughter has just gotten married, which means that Eminem should be behaving more like a potential grandparent. He's granddad. This is granddad shady. You know what I mean?
Granddad.
What's that got to do? Has he been in the news other than things he's putting in music for doing wrong things? The dude is an upstanding fucking
he's been in the spotlight for years and never really had
nothing like a lot of these other cats.
Only his lyrics only his lyrics are controversial, but not his actions.
Sticks
he's never done anything wrong.
May break your bones, Candace. They may break, but words should never hurt.
But granddad is not acting like a granddad.
Where is she from?
Start acting like a granddad.
A granddad. How many fucking
where is she?
Granddad with a
granddad? Granddad.
To pander to the black community. That's what I want to say on that point.
I think this video will resurface in 10 years when she's trying to run for president or some shit, and it's gonna hurt her. I can't get behind.
She obviously didn't listen to the whole album. She doesn't understand the concept.
She just
of the
listened
album.
to what he said about
He hasn't
her.
evolved. He's still talking about like this is. You're talking about Slim Shady. She's trying to talk about Eminem or Marshall Mathers the person, but she's confusing Slim Shady's lyrics. She doesn't get it. She doesn't get the concept. She thinks that he's not evolving, which is crazy because he had so much like backlash for his albums that he was trying to evolve. So now he said, "Fuck it, I'm coming back with Slim Shady."
And I still think it could, if he was still, if Slim Shady from back then was truly coming back, like that actual human being came back and made a song today, it'd be 50 times worse. I think he's still.
Oh, he's still held back a little bit.
Absolutely.
Candace Owens, a little bit.
Fuck you. Not a fan.
I mean, I usually agree with the shit she says, but this was an L.
When it comes to rap and shit like that, fuck her.
Let us know what you think in the comments.